Awesome and amazing day. We are so excited that you've joined us here today, and we want to welcome you. I'm John Jubilee. This is my beautiful wife, Chelsea Jubilee, and we are thrilled that you're here. We're going to share with you some things that are going to be so valuable to you, things maybe you've never heard before, so hang in there with us. Now, who is this for? This is for everybody. This is for everybody. And the reason we can say that is because this is for anybody that maybe you're overweight, maybe you have a health issue. Did you know that you're not alone? There's more than 100 million people in America that have diabetes, 70, 80 million people that have high blood pressure. Yes. I mean, 1 out of 6 people has a sleeping issue.
Well, and the most alarming is there's 88 million people out there that are pre-diabetic. They don't even know it. They have no clue. I mean, that's alarming.
No, it is alarming. Undiagnosed, which means if you're one of those 88 million people, you are pre-diabetic or diabetic and you just don't even know it because you haven't had the test. So imagine that's like every 4th person in the whole United States of America is diabetic or pre-diabetic and doesn't even know it. But if you've had joint pain, if you've had brain fog, any type of arthritis or irritable bowel syndrome,
I was just going to say digestive issues,
then this is for you. You're at the right place, and we're glad that you're here. And I'll quickly share with you, 23 years ago, I was you. 23 years ago, I had arthritis, I had high blood pressure, hypertension. I was virtually bone on bone in my knees. People used to affectionately call me Mr. Rice Krispies because I snapped, crackled, and popped when I walked. I was in pain every day, and I knew something was not right as far as I just wasn't as sharp and quick, and I just couldn't remember just simple little things, memories of the past, or maybe some of you call it brain fog or short memory, or you think, oh, I'm just getting older, I'm losing my memory. Well, if you're in any of those positions, that's exactly where I was. So if that sounds like you.
Yeah, does any of that sound like you?
Yeah.
Sounds like a lot of us.
Yeah. So if that sounds like you, then you're just like us and you're in the right place. And look, we're working parents. You know, we have 3 small children at home. We have twin boys. And I smile because can you imagine? Twin boys, that's a lot of work, right? For both of us, but especially for a mom and an 8-year-old daughter. So we know what that is, to have the struggles of you're trying to take care of your own health and trying to take care of your children at the same time. Yep. So here's what we've learned though. If it sounds like you, and let me just share my own situation. I tried every diet that you've ever heard of out there. I mean, you name it, and I tried it. Because people say, John, you're a smart guy. Why would you try all those diets? Because I was so desperate, that's why. So I tried every type of exercise program, the Atkins diet, the running 5 miles. I tried all the stuff, and here's what I learned. Everything works for a minute. But life is a lot longer than a minute, right? And I call it false hope for sale. Pretty much everybody out there, they're selling false hope, and we're buying it because we're desperate. Because we're desperate.
Yeah, or you can be like me and you've tried what I like to call unsustainable, right? I mean, paleo, I tried it, it worked, but it wasn't sustainable. I couldn't keep that up. I mean, it was crazy trying to keep that up, especially with the family. Or the P90X, the exercise routine. I mean, we've heard so many stories from even chiropractors that we work with that say the majority of their patients are because they got injured doing these crazy exercise programs.
Yes. So if that sounds like you, any of that, you're in the right place. And we've got some good news for you. The real problem is not anything of what people think it is. It's not that they're not eating right. It's not that they're not exercising. It's not that they're not trying, like we just shared, right? We're just like you. We tried all that stuff, and that's not the real problem. The real problem is you haven't discovered the shifts. And when you discover the shifts, you'll realize, like we did, your light bulb will go off like, oh my word. And when the light bulb goes off, the hope comes into your mind and into your heart, and you realize, wow, this isn't false hope, this is real hope.
Yeah.
When you discover these 5 shifts, it will change your life, and it'll change the way you look at health forever. That's the real problem.
Absolutely.
Now, once you make these, your life is going to change, and your health is going to change, and you're going to learn that everything is reversible. So many of us are on medication. Do you know that the average American has 12 prescriptions a year? 12 a year. It's unbelievable. You know, when my grandparents were growing up, there was one drugstore in the whole town. Now there's a drugstore on every corner, and at Walmart and everywhere else, right? Drugstores are just everywhere because we've all been brainwashed, you know, to take a pill with all the side effects. And remember the commercials on television? Think about it, go back in your memory for a minute. The second half of every commercial should have Jaws music playing in it, you know, like the shark is going to attack you, when they discuss what? The side effects, right, of all those medications. But why do we do that? Again, we're desperate. We're desperate. So we have a solution that when you make these 5 shifts, we've had thousands of people over 2 decades be able to get off all their medications.
That's it.
And so if you're in that boat, you came to the right place, because when you make these shifts, it is really possible to get off of all your medication, whatever it is. We help thousands of people to get healthy at the cellular level. And here's what I want to share with you starting out. I want to share with you these shifts. And I want to also quickly, before I get into the shifts, I just want to validate to you that just the fact that you clicked on this today shows that you care about yourself and you're trying to take a step in the right direction. And if you want to change, you have to make a change. If you want something different, you have to do something different, and you're already doing it. So I honor you and I commend you for doing that. So you ready? I'm going to share with you what these 5 shifts are. We are.
Get ready.
We're going to share with you together. The first one's going to shock you. Be selfish. That's right.
Yes.
I want you to be selfish.
Absolutely.
It needs to be all about you for a short season of your life. You have to choose to be selfish to take care of yourself. Every airline teaches you, in case of an emergency, put the mask on yourself first and then help the person next to you. Because if you don't put it on yourself first and you pass out, you're not around to help anyone else. And if you don't learn to be selfish to take care of your health first, you're not going to be there for your family members. There was a man who actually was a friend of mine, and I 3 different occasions offered for him to do these 5 shifts and to do this protocol. And he literally was a mover and a shaker. I mean, this guy was a man's man, a businessman's businessman, made hundreds of thousands of dollars every year. And he's like, John, I'm making too much money. I got too much business going on to do this thing right now, but I'll do it later. I'll do it in the future. What was he doing? He wasn't being selfish to take care of himself first. 3 months later, I'm standing on the front row with his wife and his daughters at his funeral. He was 50 years old. His daughters, with tears in their eyes, are looking at me saying, Mr. Jubilee, why is our dad dead already? And I'm older than their dad. Those little girls will never have a father to walk them down the aisle because their father did not do this first shift, which is to be selfish.
Yeah.
And moms,
Absolutely.
what do the moms do? You're always taking care of your children, taking care of your husband, taking care of your family.
And the funny thing is, at the end of all that, we're the ones beat up, right? We're the ones dragging to get out of bed. Everybody else is great, but we're not. I mean, if you're really truly honest with yourself as a parent, that's where the fatigue really comes in. Really comes in, is when we're not taking care of ourselves first. And I promise you, when you do, you will become a better mom and you will become a better partner.
Shift number 2.
Shift number 2
is to lose fat, not weight. Now take a look at this picture we're going to show you. This is the difference between 5 pounds of fat and 5 pounds of muscle. So you want to lose fat, not your muscle. You want to lose fat, not water.
Yep.
And look at this. My wife actually grabbed some fat right here while you weren't looking.
Yeah, this is scary. Because this looks like it's like 10 pounds of fat. How much is this, baby?
But that's only 5 pounds of fat.
5 pounds of fat. That's just scary. Just next to me, like 5 pounds of fat. That's all this is. That's a ton. And this is just sitting. This is just sitting on people.
Well, and it literally, if you can imagine that up against your mouth, could you suffocate yourself with 5 pounds of fat? Of course you could. You could suffocate and die. Well, imagine that fat up against your heart, up against your pancreas, against your kidneys, against your liver.
Lungs.
It literally is suffocating your organs. And that's why you hear of all these people that go to bed and don't wake up, that are overweight. They die of natural causes. They really died of fat suffocating one organ. Every diet that we've all went on, let's all get really honest for a minute, can we? Let's just really be authentic and talk like family. Every diet we've all went on, the first 10 pounds we lose is what? You know what it is. Say it out loud.
They don't want to say it out loud.
Say it out loud. Water, right? We all know it. We all know it. But we want to pretend like it's fat. Because imagine 10 pounds, 2 of those big fat blobs, that'd be awesome, right? But we know that's not what we're really losing. It's not fat loss, it's water loss.
Yes.
And that's why your second shift is fat loss, not weight loss. You don't want to lose healthy water, and you certainly don't want to lose your lean, healthy muscle.
Yeah, one other thing to add to that is I want to show you this picture of this man. So he weighs, the picture on the left, he weighs the same amount as the picture on the right. Yet look at his body. It's night and day. Everybody wants the body on the right, but they weigh the same amount, which is why we don't teach weight loss. We teach fat loss.
That's it. You want to transform. You actually want to gain lean muscle. You want to gain healthy hydration. You only want to lose fat, lose inches. Let me share with you about another good friend, Michael Stone. I met Michael Stone when he was 67 years old. I'm going to show you a picture of him at 67 years old. This is when I met him. Michael was on 10 medications, diabetic, gout, high blood pressure, lots of health issues. And Michael literally, when he signed up to do the protocol, he said, look, I am completely skeptical, even though both of my doctors recommended me to you, 5 of my neighbors recommended me. I'm still skeptical. I don't believe it's going to work. I'm very wealthy. I've tried everything money can buy, every doctor's program imaginable. Nothing works for me. Well, guess what? Michael Stone, literally, in 88 days, and we teach an 88-day, but in 88 days he had a transformation, but he went a little bit longer than 88 days. He went 88 days and 8 weeks, but look at this transformation. He lost 175 pounds of fat, not weight. Michael Stone did not lose 1 drop of water. He didn't lose 1 ounce of muscle. He lost 175 pounds of pure solid fat. That's the size of a human being. That's a whole nother person. That's a whole nother person of solid fat. And his skin, look at his skin, tight as a drum. Tight as a drum, no sagging skin. He went from a 56-inch waist, men, 56-inch pants, to a 32. 56 to 32 in 88 days and 8 weeks. That's your second shift to make, is recognize the difference between fat loss and weight loss. And here's shift number 3. This is what we call our secret code. Now the secret code, this is what it's all about. And this is what I discovered 23 years ago. In my own frustration and my own pain, I went and researched thousands of pages of science. And I have a unique brain. As a little boy, God just gave me a gift where I could quote encyclopedias and solve mathematical equations in 2 seconds. My brain just skips, simplifies things. I'm a simplifier of complex things. And so when I'm looking at all of this thing of the human body, what I discovered was everything is just cells. And if your cells are healthy, everything is healthy. And what makes a cell healthy? Hydration. I recognize that most of us, like 90% of us, our cells are as hard as glass marbles, and that they need to be porous like a sponge. So if you picture a hard glass marble, and no water can get in and no toxins can get out. Everything bad is trapped inside and nothing good can get in. But when it becomes porous like a sponge, all the toxins go out of it and all the healthy hydration comes in. When the healthy hydration comes into that cell, 200 to 300 mitochondria start firing in that cell like little thermonuclear power plants. And you're fully energized and healthy from the inside out. And when your cells are healthy, everything is healthy. Our brains are 70% water. And as we get dehydrated in our brain, even just 10% dehydrated, up to half of our neurotransmitters and our brain synapses don't work anymore. So think about this. It's like a car that's supposed to have an 8-cylinder engine only using 4. It'll still run, but it's so much stress and anxiety and pressure and agony. And that's how most of our brains are functioning right now, just because of dehydration.
And that's another reason why if you go online on our website and look at our testimonial videos, I mean, number one, they're super fun to watch. But number two, which is why almost, I'd say just pretty much everybody that wanted to just do the protocol because they felt fatigued, they almost feel when that happens inside their body. It's like they just woke up a different person one day. And they're so energetic. And I say not everybody, because some people aren't doing it because they feel fatigued. Some people are doing it because they just want to lose weight. But then they realize afterwards, wow, I felt so fatigued and I didn't even know it. And that's the really cool part about when that shift happens, people actually feel it. And that's the neat thing to watch that take place inside of them.
It really is. And here's the really crazy cool bonus to this. This is the fastest way. It's the fastest way to fat loss. The fastest way to fat loss imaginable, because you're literally resetting your metabolism, you're resetting your hypothalamus, and you're turning your body into a fat burning machine, because now when all of your organs have cellular hydration, they all function like they're supposed to. It's like all the power plant switches get turned on inside your body, and your body wants to metabolize fat. It's designed to not carry extra fat. So let us do a quick recap here. We're on shift 3. We got 2 more to share, but let's do a quick recap. Look, there's the old way of doing it.
Yeah.
We go on a diet, we start running, we start doing P90X or some other crazy workout program. And it works for a minute, and then we're right back to, okay, let's try a starvation diet, or let's try some paleo.
Or the new thing is fasting or keto.
Or keto, keto, which will give you high blood pressure and maybe destroy your digestive system, and not good, not healthy ways of doing it. That's the old way. Keto is just a new name for the Atkins diet. That thing's been around for 30 years. Mm-hmm. So what's the new way? The new way is cellular hydration. Get healthy from the inside with the side effect of losing your fat really fast. Get your organs hydrated. Get your cells healthy and hydrated with the side effect of gaining lean muscle, getting tight, awesome skin.
Oh yeah, ladies. Oh, that's the number one compliment most of our women give, is they get complimented all the time, not only on the way that their body looks, but their skin and their hair. It's fat. I mean, even just myself, everybody, I get compliments all the time about my skin, and I don't wear moisturizer. It's rare that I wear moisturizer. And that's really truly the difference between the inside out, because you could put something on your skin and yet I can still wake up the next day and have no effect. It's not there anymore because I was putting it on my skin. But when I got healthy from the inside out, my skin's just always glowing. And that's the beautiful thing. That's what's so fun about watching the testimonial videos, is you could see they're real people just like you that have done the program and they love it. They just had a true transformation experience.
Absolutely. So now let's talk about leveraging your metabolism. This is your fourth shift. Leveraging your metabolism. As you get hydrated and you have optimal health at the cellular level, now we're going to make your metabolism go to work for you. And so your metabolism literally is designed, ladies, if you can imagine, honey, grab the fat block, please. Let's just show them.
Oh, yeah.
So look, these results are typical. So ladies, you'll lose 3 or 4 of these in 4 weeks. 3 to 4 of these in 4 weeks. These results are typical.
Sounds too good to be true, babe.
Oh. we hear that every day. That's a joke. That's a joke in our company. Sounds too good to be true. And you know what we tell people? Be skeptical. Be a beautiful, beloved skeptic. Absolutely. We know it sounds too good to be true. Of course it does, but it is true because we have thousands of documented testimonies. You can go look at them for yourself. Don't believe a word we say. Go prove it out. Intelligent people are skeptical people. Be a beautiful, beloved skeptic. And you go check this out for yourself. Let me share with you Philip Paget. So Philip Paget came in after he had an executive health assessment done. And literally what happened is, Philip, God bless him, he had 5 red markers, 5 red, neon flashing lights of, danger, Will Robinson, like, Philip, you have serious health issues here. Well, he came in just for his health. All he cared about was he didn't want his insurance was about to triple. They were going to triple his insurance rates because of his health. So he came in to do this experience, this 88-day experience, and guess what happened? All of his markers went from red to green. Red to green, look at that.
Stop to go.
Red to green, all of his markers went red to green. Now a cool side effect is when you get healthy from the inside, it reflects on the outside, and look what he looked like after his transformation. Shift 5, this is our last shift. It's to learn the value of investing in coaching and mentoring. The value of investing in coaching and mentoring. Every great successful person, professional athlete in every field has a coach. They have a mentor. Even the great Michael Jordan attributed most of his success to great coaching. He scored 55 on the Knicks, and I'll never forget in his interview, he gave all the credit to one coaching tip that he got before that game. We all need to invest in coaching and in mentoring. And I learned this in a really poignant way from a New York City fireman, Tom Shelton. Tom Shelton was a 3rd generation New York City fireman. He got trapped in a basement fire. When he was trapped in the fire, the heat that was just in the room that was on fire, it melted his lungs. So just imagine a baggie that gets too hot by a fire and it melts. That's literally what happened to both of his lungs. It caused him to be permanently disabled, have obstructive airways disease. And so literally, Tom, when he met us, he said, I think the world of you guys, I think the world of your program, I wish I could do it, but there's no way. And we said, way, you can do it. When he transformed, he literally went from where he could not walk. He couldn't walk for 2 minutes. And by the end, he could run for 5 miles. He could run for 5 miles.
That's amazing.
And literally, this is what he told me after the fact. He said, John, I swear to God, if I had $1 million, I'd give it to you. If I had $1 million, I'd give it to you. He goes, but can I tell you what I was thinking at first when I had to actually consider the possibility of paying for somebody to coach me and make an investment for myself? And I said, please share it with me. He said, John, I'm telling you, he said, I almost didn't do it. I almost didn't do it. He said, I was literally thinking of all these other things that I had just spent money on. He goes, my first answer in my mind and my snap answer was, no, I'm not investing money on myself. And why? Because he didn't really value himself or his health. But then when he began to think about that he just spent money on a car repair, on a heating and air conditioning repair, on a house repair, he realized, wait a minute, am I not more valuable than things? am I not worth some investment to invest in myself, in my health? He said, and John, I had a shift. I had a shift in my mind. Tom Shelton taught me this principle years ago, that the shift to invest in yourself, to invest in coaching and mentoring, it's one of the biggest shifts that we all need to make, because all of us devalue ourselves or we devalue our health at some point in time. Remember Steve Jobs? $8.3 billion, and he's gone after 50 years, about 50 years of life. Because $8.3 billion couldn't buy his health. Now, I want to encourage you, you're here. You know, you're here. Steve Jobs is gone. He can't change his mind.
Well, it goes back to shift number one. Be selfish.
To be selfish.
You got to be selfish. You got to take care of you first.
That's right. So we want to give you this word of encouragement. You know, take a moment for yourself. We're going to offer you something today, and guess what it's going to cost you? Nothing. It's free. It's free. It's completely free. We're going to offer you a free consultation. And this is going to be a breakthrough consultation, by the way.
Yes.
No matter how many times you failed before, we can promise you this will be a breakthrough consultation. And you will get a revelation of why you haven't succeeded in the past and why you can now. Yep. Because here's what we've learned. Tens of thousands of people that failed at every other thing they ever tried, when they implement these 5 shifts, they succeed every single time.
Yes.
Does it sound too good to be true? Of course it does.
Of course.
And we know it does. But we give you the license to be a beautiful, beloved skeptic, because we're not charging you anything. You have nothing to risk.
Nothing to lose at all. Completely free.
That's right. So we're going to offer you a free breakthrough consultation. We'll go over with you in detail, however much detail you want or as little detail as you want. But this is going to be your free breakthrough consultation. No matter how many times you failed before, no matter what people have told you, this is just your size, or this is just your age, or this is just how it is when you get older.
Or genetics, it's your genetics. We hear that a lot too.
That's right. We're telling you that's not true. You just haven't learned the 5 shifts. And we look forward to helping you be your best you ever.